Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. I want to tell you about my sister in Messina's house. And in the backyard, it's unlike any of the other houses in the area. There's a special little ecosystem that exists back there. There's two giant trees and lawn, and it seems to have become the home of many of the urban animals that live around us. There's a whole family or many families of squirrels, and there's woodchucks, and there's lots of birds because those trees are homes in themselves for so many of these creatures. So I've had a chance to sit there with my sister in the kitchen and look out and watch the animals in the backyard. And why am I telling you about this? Because the behavior that I see in that backyard, the interplay between different animals of the same species and then other species coming together is very similar to what's happening in that other world near us, that water world, where a whole nother brand of beings exist, and those being the fish that we talk about. So getting back to watching the squirrels, the other morning we were sitting there at the table, and Brenda says to me, I can't believe that there's no animals out there right now. There's no birds. There's nothing. And usually this time of the day is full activity, and it was a nice day. And I'm thinking, okay, let's start watching, and let's see when the change comes. Pretty soon there was a couple of squirrels, and they seemed to, Brenda said to me, she says, I think they're mates. I don't even think they're members of the same family. They're actually mates because they'll eat together. They'll do things together, and they won't try to chase the other one away and be the one to get the best food. They kind of share it. But one of them would prefer a whole different area to go to eat the peanuts that were put out there for him. The other squirrel had a route that it took every time, and it would go across the lawn, but there's a picnic table in the middle of the lawn. Instead of going around it, it would hop up on the bench and then up on the table, then back down the other side and go along its journey. It'd hide its peanut, and then it would come scampering back across the lawn, up over the table, down the table, and then back to the peanut village that existed around one of the trees. And I thought, this is amazing. And Brenda says, well, you just wait. When the blue jays discover that those peanuts are there, even though that you don't see any blue jays now, they know there's someplace watching. And they'll come and they'll dominate those squirrels. And sure enough, they did. And I thought, boy, isn't this the same in the fishing world we go to? One day we'll go back to the same place that every day we throw out and we get a bite, and there's nothing there. And the conditions all seem the same. And then we think that if we do one thing, we're going to catch the fish on this one way. But some of the fish will prefer one type of offering, and the other fish won't even look at it because they have different likes and different dislikes. They have different habits. They have different journeys that they take during the day. And it's no different than the squirrels that we watch on my sister's street. And I thought, this is something I really want to share with people because I think it's a great insight to be able to watch how animals, fish, birds, they all act in the same ways. You know, fish are closely related. So much of their characteristics and their physiology is similar to birds. And so they're going to react often in the same way. But I think it's always, and I guess here's my lesson, and I never want to be a teacher or I never want to preach a sermon. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to tell people to do anything. But what I think it's important to do is watch and listen and learn. And if you do that, you're going to get better at anything that you do, whether it's fishing or just being a good person. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.